Welcome to It's Your Space. I'm Mary Cox, Seattle-based, New York-bred interior designer who firmly believes that design choices psychologically and physically influence how you feel in a space. This podcast will introduce you to the science behind how your environment impacts your well-being. I'm often asked what my process is for designing a space. It's easy. I listen. Because the truth is, you actually know what you want, and I know how to get you there. I remember years ago, I was living in New York and just happened to see a program on PBS where they were studying the psychological effects of color in a maximum security prison. 3 prisoners were escorted into this room, and they weren't told why they were brought there. Their anxiety levels were off the scale because they're all wondering if they were in trouble or not, and they just sat them on chairs facing a wall. But the first group that they brought them in, and the wall was painted in this chartreuse yellow, like that awful yellow that has like green in it. And after about 15 minutes, the prisoners began to get like increasingly restless and agitated. So they took them out, and the next group was brought in, and they had painted the wall in a very deep red. And within about 15 minutes, the inmates were angry and started physical fistfights with each other. So they finally took them away. And the last group was brought into the room, and they had painted the wall in a very like serene blue-green. And they found that after even a longer period than 15 minutes, the inmates were all laughing and joking with each other, and they had become like comrades as opposed to the antagonistic behavior that was displayed by the first 2 groups. This made such an impression on me and was the catalyst that became my life passion. Discovering how color and design choices affected us from a holistic perspective. Good design is all about emotion, how you connect to a space through color and placement, scale, lighting, textures. All of these components dictate how you'll feel in the space when it's completed. And one of the most fundamental aspects of design is color. So let's begin with that. And who better to bring on than Ashley Blevins? Ashley is the Benjamin Moore Paint Company architectural and design rep for the Pacific Northwest. Welcome, Ashley. We are so thrilled that you're joining us.
Oh, thank you, Mary. I'm so thrilled to be here, and thank you for having me.
Well, great. Well, Ashley, could you just tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I've been with Benjamin Moore Corporate for 5 years now. They are a great company, and right now I work with specifically architects and designers. So I do specifications for projects. I help with color tools. We do continuing education presentations, and I cover Alaska, Washington, Oregon, and part of Idaho, actually. So it's quite a large territory, and it is a lot, but you learn a lot and meet a lot of cool people.
And you travel a lot.
But that's how I met you. I wouldn't have met you if it weren't for this.
That is very true. That is very true. We have a funny story of Ashley and I had met at a local restaurant, and they had painted the walls in the restaurant right next to our head in this like chartreuse yellow, kind of like
awful.
Awful. Yeah, like awful, like green yellow. And I'm not saying anything to Ashley, but the only relief that I'm getting is to look over her head at this pizza oven that was royal blue. And she'd be talking and smiling, and I'd be looking over her shoulder for some kind of relief, looking at this blue oven, because it was making me so irritable.
And what's funny, Mary, this is the first time Mary and I met too. So, we weren't fully comfortable with being like, oh my gosh, that's really annoying and irritating. And then finally we both were like, okay, I am so sorry. I have to be honest, that wall
is freaking me out.
And then fast forward, 6 months later? We were at a business dinner and we were talking to a designer, and she's like, I know exactly what restaurant you're talking about. And
she had gone in with her husband.
Yes.
We didn't even tell her the name of the restaurant. She said she walked in the door, looked at the wall, and said to her husband, I can't eat here.
And she's never been back, but she remembers exactly what we were talking about. And it's so funny how that color played such an important role in our interaction.
I know, it really did. And it also helped us lighten it up when we were able to go, you mean this was making you irritable? It was making me nuts sitting there.
It was. And now we still talk about it and laugh about that to this day.
And I still get invited to go to that restaurant and think, do I have to be there?
And they do have very good pastries.
And very good food.
Yes, they do. So just pick a different spot. We won't name the restaurant.
Sit in the bar.
Sit in the bar.
So, Ashley, I was going to ask you if you wanted to share with us any of your experiences with the effect of color. And I know that I remember I asked you this, okay? I said to you that if I had asked you that question 10 years ago, that you would have thought I was cuckoo.
Yes, I did say that.
You learned about the effects of color.
It's funny because, 10 years ago, wow, that seems like a lifetime ago. But I would have thought you were cuckoo. Somebody, pick a color, any color. It doesn't affect you, right? Mm-hmm. It's just a color. Well, that is definitely not true. And that's not my experience. And, I remember working during COVID. And COVID was a hard time for a lot of people. Everybody was inside, stuck in their houses, couldn't go anywhere. And that right there is very isolating. And I remember I had a customer, and she was talking, and she was telling me, she was kind of having some mental health issues being stuck at home. And so I asked her, what colors are in your bedroom? What colors are in your house? And she was like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, I just want to know. And they were actually it was a gray time. That's when millennial gray came about. So very deep colors.
Yeah.
Yep, the millennial gray. And I told her, I'm like, I think we should switch it up. Let's do some light, airy colors. And so we did a sea salt. It's a light green.
One of my favorite colors by Benjamin Moore.
It really is. Right. It's a staple. And, we did it, and it was the effect that it had on her. It was night and day different. She was like, I cannot believe it. It made such a huge effect in a positive way on my mental health. And it was just the color in my house, along with COVID. But
it actually, just by changing the color, changed her mood so that everything was elevated.
Yeah.
Correct.
And, they do a therapy called chromotherapy. Have you heard of chromotherapy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know about it.
So if you don't know about it and you're listening, it uses visible light and color to treat emotional imbalances and also physical imbalances. It really helps individuals process emotions, reduces stress, again, mood benefits. So it's pretty amazing what color can do on your mood physically and mentally.
I think you told me something too. You were telling me about Benjamin Moore had a continuing education class that was on the power and science of color.
Yeah.
And it had the chromotherapy in it, and about coloring books and how stress, could be reduced and mood benefits.
Oh, Coloring books are great. They have adult coloring books now. And if you ever see, when you go to restaurants and they give the kids their,
Right.
their coloring books and they're
yeah.
coloring. And I don't know if you ever have the urge to just join in and color with them, but I've noticed
Actually, I
some,
do.
yeah, I've noticed a lot of adults.
I say, can I have my own placemat that I can color?
Yep.
Thank you.
And that's why you're doing this not knowing, but there is a reason. And so it goes back from being a kid all the way to adults. So they have coloring books now for adults to help reduce stress. And I see them all the time now. They're great.
I know. They are. And you were also talking about Newton.
Isaac Newton. He
Tell us about Isaac back in the 1660s. Right?
Yes. So back in the 1660s, Newton actually identified 7 colors of the rainbow, and he tied it all together with physics. And some of the key contributions that he had was that white light is composed of all colors, which led to identifying the visible spectrum, and it actually created the first color wheel. So, so color goes back, hundreds of years, and scientifically, physically, the effect it has on us, it's been around for ages. And getting into this position, it's been so nice to learn the depth of it and use it in my personal life, my business life. It's really made a positive effect.
I also understand, too, that Benjamin Moore partners with science and design that explores the role of neuroaesthetics, which is changing the future of the interior design industry right now. We'll cover more of that in depth in future episodes, but for now, Benjamin Moore has done, I know, considerable research on science and color design.
Yes.
So we're back into the science and the color and how the light creates more than just visual effects. It also has biological and psychological effects that impact your health and well-being of the people in the spaces.
Oh, yeah. Color really evokes feelings, memories. It's funny because my mother, she passed away almost 3 years ago, but I remember. Oh, thank you. But I just will remember the memories because every time we'd go to take a nap, she'd always open the windows. I want the lighting. And I'm like, Mom, you're crazy. No. And it was a huge thing always to have the light, and it would always lift our moods. And
Oh, that's such a sweet story.
Yeah, and I remember it vividly. And it's just something that I'm like, oh my gosh, I guess moms are usually right.
Do you now carry that out with your baby?
Oh,
Do
yes.
you say, oh, okay, I'll open and let light in?
I let light in, and it calms him. I have a 1-year-old, and the lighting definitely calms him, the natural lighting. He loves it too.
Right. It's so funny, those things of color evoking, memories and all. And my mom was an art teacher, and she would always have us look at light and color differently. Like she would say, Mary, just look at this, forest in front of you. What color is it? And I'd look and just say, green.
Yeah.
She'd go, no, it's not green. Keep looking. And the more she forced my brain to keep looking, then I would say, oh, well, there's yellow, there's brown, there's kind of there's blue in there. She'd go, keep going. And then the more that I got in tune to that, I realized how much more it calmed me. Like I understood why it was calming to me.
We had some smart mothers.
We did. We had some smart mothers.
Yes.
Right.
Well, in the natural light, it actually regulates sleep patterns, and it will improve your mood, and it actually potentially alleviates symptoms of depression. So
Interesting.
Yeah, so all of that, I'm like, wow, our nap times were a little more in depth than I thought.
That's so interesting. Like you said, will alleviate depression.
Yeah.
I remember a doctor I had gone to for years, and I would constantly say to him, I love you, but I hate coming in this room because one is I was probably there because I wasn't feeling good.
Yeah, you're like, I don't ever feel good when I come
But
here.
he said one of the wives in the practice had picked out the paint colors, and it was back to being that awful yellowy green. And he said it made people upset. And so I said, okay, this is what you're going to do, Brad. You're going to go ahead and put posters on the wall, sports things, whatever you'd like on the wall, because that's going to help people from being in here in this room and not feeling like my blood pressure's going up, which it actually will. Yeah.
Well, and maybe that was his plan. He'd have to come back.
He'd have to come back. He had me enough. He didn't need me to. So, Ashley, do you have any tips that you can share with us on choosing optimal colors for a room?
Yeah. So we spend most of our times in our bedroom. So you really want to avoid bright and bold colors in your room because it really is going to disrupt your sleep. It's stimulating. So great to maybe have it in an office so you're stimulated, but not to rest. Think about soft blues, greens, earthy neutrals. That's really going to improve your sleep quality, which could help improve depression.
And the interesting part, which we'll get into further down the line, is everything that you're saying about the colors and decreasing your heart rate. All of that is so true. By the color will change your blood pressure and all of the heart, which is another discussion, dictates our overall health. It's dictating what's happening with your digestion, with everything. And it all goes back to color.
Yeah, your environment.
Your environment
plays a key role in your whole life. And sometimes you just don't know until you know.
And you don't know. And I think, hopefully, by these podcasts, what we hope to do is educate people of how to learn to listen to themselves. Because right now, if you show you how you can listen to yourself, which is what I do with my clients, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is I watch them, and when I see that they start to talk and they will have immediate reaction to, even though they'll say they don't, I don't really care. Yes, they do.
You do care.
Because all of a sudden their shoulders tighten. You can tell their eyes change. Their voice changes to a suggestion, a color, even a fabric.
Yeah, subconsciously you're going to be affected by it.
Exactly.
So it's very good to be aware of these things.
It is. It totally is. So I wanted to just say in conclusion that the science of color goes beyond just the aesthetics. Our brain, emotions, and even behavior can be influenced by the colors around us. So thank you, Ashley and Benjamin Moore, for sharing your expertise with us. And thank you for listening today.
Thank you, Mary, for having me. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to more podcasts and more projects together.
I hope that this podcast will help empower you and teach you how to pursue your vision for your home by becoming aware of how design elements make you feel. We have many creative and interesting guests joining us in future podcasts, and they'll all be sharing their knowledge and experiences with holistic design. We are excited about hearing from all of you and learning about your reactions to different design components, and welcome your comments and likes, and of course, would greatly appreciate you subscribing to our channel. Till next time, remember to start listening to yourself, because it's about you. It's your home. It's your space.